Well, we're in a storm delay, guys. What can you say? This game has made me feel good at times. Game has made me feel really crap at times. And guess what? Mostly crap. I just I don't understand. Our defense just cannot do anything. And then they keep dropping Garrett Green back there to throw passes, and he's throwing picks. I mean, what more can we say? Welcome in, everybody. This is West Virginia football, at the voice of college football. I'm Joey Foster. Let me turn on my camera for you guys for a second, so you can see who's talking to you. I don't know, Chief Fan. Appreciate you joining in here. I don't know how many of you guys know me or not, but I think if you know me, you know that before the game, I was throwing all the key points out there, and I was right on the money with everything, and everything's went out the window. I mean, turnovers were horrible. We couldn't turn the ball over. We did. We've done it. Garrett Green, a couple interceptions now. We needed to limit their passing game. Jalen Daniels is picking our ass apart. They are going up and down the field on us, and our defense, for the most, has held their part. I have to give them some credit. The defense has held their own at times, but overall, just absolutely horrible. And I don't know. I don't know if it can be fixed. Now, I do want to make another point too. How many people know this? They reviewed that play last game of the game before they went to the rain delay. They reviewed that play. That was actually an illegal review. The referee in this game is absolutely piss poor once again. Right, like the late hit out of bounds on us. The guy didn't even push him. He put his hands on him, and it wasn't nothing. Meanwhile, they're over there, taking us down to the ground and shit, and nothing gets called. Chief Ben, I agree. Neil Brown should not be making play calls. I agree. But that last review from the referees, not even legal. Can't even do that because they had run another play. They had already called delay a game. Remember, they called delay a game on Kansas, so they can't go back and review the play after they've called a down, and it had been called. So once again, like I say, refereeing absolutely piss poor this game, every game, and everything. And yeah, talking spit. I see you coming here. JMU is destroying UNC 62-34 right now. So don't look so bad. Kelly McCourt says, "Do you think Nico can save the game?" I hope. I don't know. I don't know if we're going to put Nico in. It's not that Garrett Green's playing bad. It's the play calling. The play calling is what sucks. Garrett Green's actually doing okay. I mean, he's throwing some nice passes. He's scrambled around. The play calling is just not there, in my opinion. I am going to post this link in the StreamYard chat if anybody wants to come in. Listen, we were talking West Virginia football. What do you mean West Virginia football? Falcons Pit. So don't come in here telling me about Pittsburgh. I don't give a shit today, right now. Anyway, come on in, guys. No, seriously, Falcons Pit. Come on in. We'll talk a little bit of Pittsburgh too. I don't care. Come on in. There's the StreamYard link. If anybody would like to join the show, come in here with me. Let's talk about this because, look, it can't all go on the refs. It can't all go on the coaching, and it can't all go on the players. And here's why I say it can't all go on the coaching. Because when you're going to say it's the coaching staff, you got to include Mike Joseph in that. And Mike Joseph's probably one of the best strength and conditioning coaches in the country. And our players are going down left and right. Our players are going down left and right with one of the best strength and conditioning coaches in the country. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to say. This is absolutely ridiculous. So there's problems everywhere. I started wondering at one time. I think everybody knows Brad Smith, the voice of Morgantown. I started text messaging him. I was curious. Do you think, and this is my honest opinion, do you think the players could be going down and protest to the coaching staff? I mean, look at that. We had like 6 plays in a row where 6 of our key players just went down. It ended when Wyatt Mullen went down, right? But just everybody's back except for Roger Burks, who the hell knows what happened there? I still ain't really figured that one out. So I know they explained it a little bit, but he's on the sidelines and goes down. I don't understand all this. So look, my hope is that Roger Brooks is okay, everything's fine, and he returns to the locker room with his team after their victory today. After we finally get to play the fourth quarter. Now, I know some people may be wondering the rules of a rain delay. Here's some rules. Rules of a rain delay is there really aren't too many rules. It's a rain delay. If lightning strikes within 8 minutes or 8 miles of the stadium at any time in the next 30 minutes, they can't resume the game. And so it has to be 30 minutes from the last lightning strike within 8 miles of the stadium before they can resume the game. And other than that, I know a lot of people are saying, well, it's 3 o'clock. What if the Storms don't move till 7 or 8 tonight? Are they still going to be there playing with Kansas on the road in Morgantown? Yeah, they will be. And here's why. It's a conference game. If it's not a conference game, I'd say maybe not. It's a conference game. It's a game that matters within the conference. So, yeah, if that game's still going on at 11 o'clock tonight, it will still be going on at 11 o'clock tonight. That's how I feel. Now, if it's out of conference game, if this was the Penn State or the Pitt game, a long range delay could cancel everything. But Big Two, appreciate you stopping in. He says, I hate this game is in a weather delay because it's the only game worth watching right now. Yeah, it sure ain't worth watching North Carolina play. That's for sure. Big Tube is a Big Tube, or you're a Georgia fan? Yeah, Big Tube's a Georgia fan. I was trying to think of if Big Tube was a Georgia fan or a Bama fan. Ballard is a Bama fan. Big Tube, you're a Georgia fan. Bam Matthews, a Georgia fan. And Uncle Lou's a Georgia fan. So trying to remember what you guys were. And Nick DTB coming in here, facts big. All right, so I posted a link into the chat. Anybody would like to come in and join me? I'm not going to sit here forever and just talk. If anybody wants to join me, come on in. I appreciate you coming in. You don't want to be on camera. You can just put up a thing just like me. Now, I might ask you for a camera in the back room, or I might put an overlay up. But for you that are just joining me, I moved my office. I'm in my top floor of my house, now the attic area. So I moved my office, and I don't get really good internet. So I keep my camera off so I do not lose you. Gamecock Chuck, what's going on, buddy? Appreciate you dropping in here. I posted a link there in the chat. Anybody like to join me, talk about this game, your game, any game out there right now? Although I'm not watching any other game, honestly, not watching a single other game again except for West Virginia and Kansas right now. But love to hear about how your team's doing or what's going on in your game. Anybody like to come in? So, all right. Nick, is that you? Let me just do this. I tell you what, Nick, hold on a second. I will just do this right here. If I can find it. There we go. Hey, Nick, what's going on, man?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Hello? I hear you.
Cool. Yeah, no, let me know if there's any right now at the moment.
Yeah, about the time you said any, it broke up a little bit. So
Said what?
about the time you said any, it broke up a little bit. I don't believe you're going to be able to. I don't believe it's going to work for you, Nick.
It might not.
Are you at the ball game, Nick?
No, I'm out. I'm outside. I just walked outside because I'm cooking something on the grill.
Oh, okay.
But
So we're all invited to your house for T-bone steaks right after the game. Is that what you're saying?
oh yeah. Only if West Virginia wins though. So
Only if West Virginia wins. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see.
So you're saying our hopes of a T-bone steak rest on the shoulders of Neil Brown. Is that what you're telling me?
Yep. Exactly. Yeah.
Kiss my ass, Nick. I thought we were friends.
Hey, come on, man. You're invited over anytime. You just got to come down to Florida.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'd love to come down to Florida. Man, my wife and I've been talking about let's just move to Florida. Get the hell out and just move to Florida.
Yeah,
I'm not going to become a Florida fan. I'll be like you. I'll just be a transplanted Mountaineer.
yeah, that's how I am right now. I mean, I grew up in Maryland, so like, um,
I'm
but
sorry.
yeah, I know, right? But I was born in West Virginia. I was born in at the Ruby Memorial.
WU fan 13 coming in here says that Neil Brown even begins to blame officiating on his horrible play calling and horrendous defense. He should be let go immediately after the press conference. He didn't say immediately. I did. I added that in there, WU fan. That's true. That's true. Baxton says it sucks when fans don't come back. Look, Nick and I during the games, we sat and text each other quite a bit. Every Saturday. I don't think Nick and I talking all through the week. Then on Saturday we're texting each other back and forth. I've been for a couple of years.
Yeah.
So I mean, we talk about these games in depth and stuff. Nick, tell me something. You've seen the first three quarters, and now we're in the rain delay it in the fourth. What has to happen? What has to change for us to go on and win this game?
Yeah, I mean, so I don't think that we're necessarily playing bad. I mean, it, like it's kind
Uh-oh, think we lost you. Yep, think we lost you, Nick.
Did you lose me?
Ah, there you're back. There you're back.
All right, all right. So no, I mean, I don't think that we're necessarily playing a bad game. There's obviously several, a couple questionable things. I mean, for example, and I texted you this earlier, is that like they keep getting CJ to the outside, and like I said, um, our best blockers are up front. Why do we keep going taking CJ to the outside? The reason that you do that is if you have a quick running back that can able to exploit his speed or exploit the defenses.
Do you think maybe they're running CJ wide out there to make them think and just keep them honest? And then when White's in the game, maybe they think, well, we can run him down real quick if they go wide. And then White gets in the game and busts one out wide. I mean, is it a strategy thing in Neil Brown's head right now to just run C.J. Donaldson wide like that? Because honestly, your best blockers are on the line of scrimmage, and C.J. Donaldson's best run is right at the middle. So why are we running him out there towards wide receivers? If for any other reason, the only reason I could think of would be to set him up for later against Jaheim White. Are you there, Nick? Uh-oh. Think we lost Nick again.
I'm here.
There we are.
I think what's happening is my phone keeps naturally turning off, and when it does, it cuts me off. So I'm gonna try
Oh,
to
you're
keep
talking
my
about West Virginia. You're talking about West Virginia football, and right now people want to turn it off.
yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. But no, what you were saying is that yeah, no, that's valid, and that's what's happening is that Neil Brown he tries to be the smartest guy in the room, and I think that hurts him
Right.
sometimes because he overthinks things, and he's like, oh, but we got to keep running him to the outside, and then one day we'll be able to run him up the middle, and yeah, I
Yep.
get the sentiment, and you got to keep him honest, if your back is in there, whatever back is in there should be able to handle whatever play you want to call, and that is the truth.
Let,
But at the same
let me.
time,
I'm gonna ask you a question, and I'm gonna bring somebody else in here too. Talk Spit, is that you, man?
Yeah.
All right. Good deal. Good deal, Justin. Just want to make sure, man. All right. So I want to ask you a question. Our defense. I'm talking to Nick. Our defensive secondary just looks like Swiss cheese. Our
yeah,
defensive line looks pretty solid. Looked pretty solid against Penn State. Looked pretty solid against Pitt. Still looks pretty solid, our defensive line. But our secondary is just horrible and everything. Now, we've talked about it before the show, and Nelson came in here, remember, and has a cousin on the team or a nephew on the team that told him that Jordan Leslie has been all over the defensive backs coach this week saying we are not getting burnt by Jalen Daniels. We're not getting burnt. We're shutting Jalen Daniels down this week. That was what Nelson said before the game that came in here. Do you see that happening at all, or do you see us shutting them down? I don't see it.
I don't see
That
it. No, no.
maybe it's a little less. Maybe it's a little less. Maybe it looks a little bit better in the secondary, but we're by far not shutting them down.
So look, so we've shut down. I think for the most part, we shut down the deep passing game. But to me, it still seems like so. I think our biggest problem last week was that we put our corners on an island and expected them to be able to hold up against let's be honest, these guys are we get let's say the Duquesne dude that we brought in, he's an FCS player. Like we get and the only Hollis is the only one that's actually experienced in the FBS that played at oh no, not the FBS, but he played he's the only one that's experienced in Power 4, football, right? And so we were trying to put him on an island and trying to, play man to man, and we're doing the same thing now. But the thing is that we do have deep safeties that are kind of stopping the deep pass. But what you see now is that all they have to do is run out routes. All they have to do is run an out route, and the guy's wide open because we're playing man to man press coverage, and our guys are just not going to be there. Now, Jacoby Spells, give it to him. He had a good play on one of those out routes, and he was the only one that was able to step up, and he got his hand in there and made a play. But other than that, no. I mean, we're putting these guys, 1-on-1 against these people, and like they're just driving the ball down the field because all you got to do is throw a 5-6 yard out route, and the guys are going to be open.
Talk
So
with Peter. Are you watching the West Virginia game at all?
I watched a good amount of it, and then I switched to the North Carolina game to laugh at them.
Yeah, that's kind of an amazing a game there. That's really. I mean,
40,
we can talk about
40 points.
we can talk about how bad West Virginia looks. Oh my God! And you can talk about our defense. Oh my God, man! James Madison is absolutely shredding North Carolina. What's the score right now?
This is the
Is it
last time
80?
I checked. It was 64-34.
Yeah, I mean, I'm wondering, James Madison, are they going to hit 80? It looks like they might hit
They
80.
should. They should.
Yeah,
I mean, but if James Madison puts their twos in, then you might as well kiss that win goodbye.
yeah.
I mean, James Madison needs to keep their ones in because as good as they're playing, North Carolina is still moving the ball very well. The only thing is North Carolina, their play calling sucks, and it doesn't help
How
that.
embarrassing! How embarrassing
Who
would
is
it be,
it?
Chalkers Pit? How
Yeah.
embarrassing is it, Chalkers Pit, that James Madison comes into a North Carolina school and they may be
Uh-huh.
putting their number twos in? They may be running their
Well,
number twos for this game's out.
Well, it's not embarrassing. I mean, it's embarrassing for the conference. So I can't sit there and deny that. However, I even said this at the beginning of the season, and I even said this multiple times on your show. North Carolina is not the North Carolina they've been for the past 2 years. Once they lost Drake May, you'd be lucky if North Carolina makes a bowl game. And then people were like, "Oh, you're just a Pitt fan. You don't know what you're talking about." And then they started attacking me personally and everything. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not even going to listen to
well,
you.
yeah, well, talk is bit with that point. Like you said, Carolina's definitely not that great of a team, but
They're not.
also,
They weren't even
also,
that good. They weren't
yeah.
even that good the past 2 years.
Oh yeah,
Really,
no,
if you really
they're
want to
always
break it down.
dude. They almost lost to App State last year. They literally
Yeah.
were like they had a miracle win against App State. But with that point though, like, and I said this to Joey earlier, is that James Madison. We forget that So since last year was their first year in the FBS, they weren't able
Yeah.
to go to a bowl game, right? But they
No.
went 12-0 and they were dominant. So they're not a bad team. Like if North Carolina lost to them, yes, it would be a bad loss, but it wouldn't be like fucking go overboard type loss. Sorry, excuse my language, but it wouldn't be like an overboard, like oh my god, the ship's sinking type thing. But if they get blown out, that's a different story. They should not be being blown out by this James Madison
Yeah.
team. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
You can
Yeah.
say anything you
Yeah.
want to, Nick. You can say anything you want to, Nick. As long as they racist or sexist, I don't care. You
Oh
can say
yeah,
anything.
yeah.
You can cuss anytime on here. I don't care. I cuss talking shit out
Joey.
all the time.
Yeah.
Hey, let me ask y'all a question though. How ironic is
Yeah.
it that 2019 Neil Brown's very first game on the West Virginia sidelines was James Madison, and he beat James Madison. And look at the two programs today. Which one's better right now?
Oh, James
James
Madison.
Madison. Yeah,
Yeah.
How
I
sad
mean,
is that?
honestly, it's sad, but what makes it even worse is when Pat McAfee went on game day today and it pissed off a shit ton of West Virginia fans when they were doing that buy or sell segment and Pitt came up and Pat McAfee was like, "Oh, I would totally buy Pitt stock right now. They're a good team. They're a lot better than I thought they would be." And then Saban, who I keep forgetting is from West Virginia, said, "I mean, what did you expect? They have a quarterback I personally recruited."
You
Yeah.
are
No.
you say you keep forgetting. Now you mean you conveniently forget. You don't want to think of nobody that has some
Oh
success
well,
in West
no,
Virginia.
actually,
Just admit it, talk a shit.
I didn't know Nick Saban was from West Virginia until a couple weeks ago.
Oh my God. Oh
I
wow. Well,
didn't.
you've been
Yeah.
under a rock.
All the best
Well,
coaches
I
seems like
mean,
they're from
when
West Virginia.
you wouldn't expect though a coach like Nick Saban to come out of the foothills of West Virginia. The way
Do
he
you know how
talks and the
many
way he can.
talk a shit?
What?
Do you know how many national championships West Virginia is responsible for as far as head coaches? You have any idea?
Quite a bit. Quite a bit, actually.
Yeah,
Same with Pennsylvania.
it's like 40. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
40.
same
You
same
realize a
with
lot of the big coaches from Michigan,
Isn't that crazy?
in the
No,
past and stuff.
that's just crazy because think about it. Like we got all these national championship coaches, but not a single not a single national championship to West Virginia. Isn't that wild?
well, you
Right.
could claim one. There is one national championship that
Yeah,
West Virginia
22,
could claim,
1922. Yeah, 1922.
and
Really?
yeah, and yeah, honestly, I mean, I feel the same way. Like the way if the module back then was set to way it was to determine a national champion, and that team was majority considered national champion, then I feel that school has a right to claim that national championship. Whether they do it or not, it's on them.
Yeah.
Like I personally, though, I don't claim any national championship before plastic helmets were invented. And after plastic helmets were invented, we only have four.
That's probably a good, like a good point, like a good data point to start with.
Yeah.
To be
I mean,
honest.
because I wasn't alive for it. My grandmother wasn't even alive for it.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I
Right.
mean,
I mean,
so,
think about it.
but,
Yale has 22 national titles.
and Yale hasn't done a damn thing since World War One.
Yeah.
So
Sorry.
that's the reason why I don't see them running around claiming this, that, and the third. But then again, I don't know a single Yale fan. Do you guys?
No,
said
never met one. Oh, I never
Me
met a
either.
Pitt fan besides you and John Waffle, to be honest. I've seen them on
And
YouTube, but they won't come on my show. I think they're chicken shit, but I mean, I've asked
oh
them.
well, if I hate John Waffle, then that should tell you something.
Oh, I'm not even talking about John Waffle. I'm talking about like other Pitt people that do podcasts and things on YouTube
Mhm.
or broadcast. They won't come on
Yeah.
the show. I've asked them. I've messaged them. They don't
Who
respond
have you
back.
asked?
Panther Lair and
Okay, I know who that is.
and there's another one too, and I can't remember his name. He drinks bourbon all the time. Just sets and drinks bourbon. Anyway,
JJ Kitchen.
Maybe. Drinks. Just sit here and drinks
He,
bourbon. Great guy. Just a
oh,
lot of fun to watch. But
yeah.
anyway. All right, so we're back
I
to this
don't.
game. Somebody's going to have to let me know what's going on in rain delay. Like I said, I have moved my office. I'm upstairs now. I don't have a TV up here yet, so I have no idea if we're coming close to coming back to the game or what. So keep me informed there, Nick, on what's going on in that game. How's it looking?
Let's see
Uh-oh.
here.
I've lost Nick. Tell me in the chat. Tell me how it's looking right now, because I have no way of knowing.
There I am. Sorry, I let my phone turn off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Nick, I'm asking. I have no way, because I moved my office and I'm upstairs. I have no TV up here. I have no way of knowing if we're close to coming back to the game or what's going on. So,
Yeah, I
what's an
got it.
update?
I'm down by the pool, and yeah, I got my computer down here, and I'm watching the channel ESPN2, and right now it's on Arkansas State and Iowa State, so it's not on yet.
What's the score of that game?
It was 14-0.
Oh, okay.
Arkansas, I think Iowa State's about to score.
Arkansas was up 14-0, really?
No, Iowa State.
Oh, I was going to say, I can't believe that. Okay.
Yeah.
It looks like it's still delayed, Joey.
Still late. Okay. Good to, so William says in an hour and 15 minutes the game will start. I don't know how true that is. Might be. But he also said before this, he said, I've tried to tell everyone this, and that if Neil loses another game, he is out. And yes, there is a first for everything. I agree. Mr. Baker has a wonderful new coaching staff ready. New start. I agree with that too. I think he's got somebody in mind, without a doubt. If he doesn't have somebody, if he don't have 2 or 3 people in mind, I would say he's not a very good athletic director. So he's got 2 or 3 people in mind. So
if you guys lose this game, you have to fire Neil Brown. I'm sorry. It's like, because
I agree.
I even picked you guys to win this game. And every single time I pick you guys to win, you disappoint me. Just like my own father.
So a couple of years ago, it's funny because I've never called for Neil Brown's firing at all. But I was on 365 Sports. And I was on 365 Sports a couple of years ago when all this stuff happened with Bob Huggins. And they asked me what I thought about it. And I said, well, it's too bad it's Bob Huggins. Can I go buy Neil Brown a beer? And I mean it to this day, can I buy Neil Brown a beer? Look, I like Neil Brown. I think he's a great guy, but he's not a coach if he can't win these games. And that's bottom line. He just seems like he's a great coach through the week and can't coach the games and make some boneheaded calls. And it looks like it don't even look like we're playing football sometimes. I don't even recognize the game sometimes. Do y'all feel the same way as me? I mean, sometimes I'm sitting there watching our West Virginia Mountaineers, and they run some off the script play that's like crazy looking. That I'm like, that's not even football. That don't even look like football.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of like playing high school football, and like your coach, like he creates like some like weird trick play, and you're implementing it in practice. Like, let's say like the first day like you get to practice, and he's like, oh, I got something crazy, like we're gonna try this. And then you try it, and like in practice it's like, oh, this looks great. And then the minute you go out on Saturday, and that's like the very first play he calls is that damn trick play, and then it's a fumble, and then the other team picks it up and then scores. And it's like, oh wow. That's what
I can't figure it out. It's like he's drawing plays up on the sidelines. It's like he's got a little sandbox over on the sidelines, and he's just drawing in the sand and saying, y'all go do this. It doesn't look like football sometimes. It looks like backyard football that we're drawing up here in the backyard. Just saying, okay, let's look for one man, and then if he's covered, I'm just going to take off and run, or then I'm going to throw the ball to this guy. But the thing about it is they're keeping Garrett Green contained in the pocket. West Virginia is not Kansas. West Virginia is keeping Garrett Green contained, and they have been all year, and they're still doing it for the most part. Garrett Green has still tried to be more of a drop back passer than he is a scrambling, running quarterback throwing on the run. That we're used to, or that I'm used to anyway. I don't know what y'all are watching, but I just don't think we're seeing the real Garrett Green right now, and it's got to
Your
change.
your offensive line, Joey's going to get him killed. I was watching. I watched a good bit of that game, and he is getting hit after hit after hit after hit. And I mean, you guys are doing the same thing to what's Kansas's quarterback name? Jaden Daniels, whatever his name is.
Well, now, Pitt, I
Against
don't know what you're
Green,
talking about. How many times did y'all sack us? Do you know?
3,
How many times did we sack you?
5.
5. How many tackles for loss did we have in that game, and how many did you have?
I think it was 6, by the way.
Tackle
the
for
record.
losses? I don't know. I honestly really don't know how many TFLs either team had.
I don't know what we ended up with, but I know late in the third quarter we had 12 tackles for loss. So I don't know what we ended up with. It was a crazy number. It was a crazy number. It was a crazy. Y'all were minus 2 yards. Y'all were minus 2 yards at one time in the third quarter. So our defensive line is stout and things, and our quarterback is pretty good. He can get out of trouble. You're not going to get a sack. And Kansas has not pressured us so much. It's just been bad play calling on our part that's causing the pressure on Garrett Green when he does get pressure.
Well,
it's just
a pressure is a pressure, and I wasn't trying to trash talk your defensive line. I didn't say anything negative. I said they're doing exactly to Kansas what Kansas is doing to you guys. I mean, even just on Twitter, and a West Virginia fan posted a clip right before the rain delay of Garrett Green struggling to get off the ground after he got smacked. And then his body language, he started shaking his head like, I don't know how much longer I can take this type of
Oh, come on, Falcons Pitt. We're not weak-minded like you Pitt guys are. He's fine.
Yeah, well,
he's take that off, and he's fine. He might get hit every once in a while, but so does every other quarterback in the country. And even sometimes they are a little shaken up.
He got hit
right back.
more
He's
than
fine.
once in a while. He got hit more than once in a while during that game.
What I'm concerned with is the total number of injuries across the board for West Virginia so far.
Yeah.
The number of players that have just come out for even a play or two. It's been. I mean, there was 5 or 6 plays in a row that we lost key players. Right,
Mullen went down. Mullen went down, I believe, for a couple plays.
That's my biggest concern right now because I know that we've got a great strength and conditioning coach in Mike Joseph, and I know that that these players are in good condition. What are all these cramps? What is going on that these players are coming off the field for a play or two, and we're in the first half of a game, and I can't figure that out because I know Mike Joseph is a great strength and conditioning coach. I mean, hell, NFL players come back to see him. NFL players want to get some strength and conditioning from Mike Joseph. So it's got to be something with Neil Brown and his coaching philosophy or something. And all these players are going down. That's my theory. It's my thought on this because you just don't lose 6 key players to injuries. Now, it's either that or they're doing it out of protest for how bad our defense is. So
yeah.
So all right. Well,
I believe
where we at on this
Mullen
game?
went down. I believe Mullet went down too. Your tackle, because when I turned it back,
Wyatt Mullen went down.
Him off the field.
Yeah, he's okay. He's back. He's fine.
Oh, he's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was. I think it was something to do with his knee brace. I think his knee brace needed readjusted or something. I don't know. He's fine. So
you still can't afford to lose him though, because if you lose him, I don't want to say you guys are going to lose this game because you're not down by much. All you need is a touchdown to take the lead, and then keep Kansas from scoring. Now, what you guys are good at doing is if he's running, he's wildly inaccurate. 2 things are going to happen if you catch Daniels on the run. He's going to get sacked or he's going to throw an incompletion. You guys have been doing very well at making him get out of the pocket because he's not a scrambling passer.
Well, we're keeping some pressure on him, and that's what you have to do to Jaden Daniels. You keep a little bit of pressure on him. And our defensive line, I have no complaints with our defensive line whatsoever. And Nate D, in case you've been talking, you're muted, and I don't even know if you know
Yeah.
that or not.
No, I
Okay.
haven't been talking. I've been muted.
Oh, okay. I think that our defensive line, though, is pretty stout. I think we're holding our own. I'm really
Yeah.
proud of our defensive line. All season long, I've been proud of our defensive line. I thought our defensive line's been playing great, especially Jackson. I mean, my goodness gracious, that guy's amazing. But our secondary is just falling apart. And the problem is if our line can't get some pressure for some strange reason, they can't get no pressure on the quarterback. He burns us because our secondary can't cover a player. They it's crazy. So anyway.
Yeah. All right, Joe. I actually have to get going because my game's about to start, and I'm going to do a watch party on YouTube.
Oh, okay, sounds good. Pitt, where are you going to do your watch party at? And go ahead and advertise your channel. Tell everybody where you'll be at, so people can come over and troll you and talk shit about Pitt.
I'll be streaming on YouTube here on StreamYard. It will be an open panel for the first half only. And then if it's a blowout, which I predict it to be by the first half, then I'm just going to call it at the first half.
Well, if
I'll
you
be
want
on
to,
YouTube
I
as
know
talk is hit.
you're not a mod on the channel, so you can't post your link. But if you'll post your link in private chat, I'll post it over there on the channel for you. I'll post it in
Yeah,
regular chat for you.
I don't think I have the link saved in my phone.
You don't have.
I'm
You
getting a
probably don't
new
have the link
phone.
set up, do you?
No, I do. I'm getting a new phone here. I meant to tell you that in the chat. I'm getting a new phone here and a new phone number within the next like 2 weeks. So whenever that phone comes through the mail, I'll text you from that number so you have my phone.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Talking fit. All right, man. I
All right.
appreciate you coming in. Good luck to your Panthers today. I hope you lose. I mean, I hope you win.
No, you hope you
So,
lose.
see you later, buddy. All right, Nick. And then there was two. How close are we back to resuming this game? Does anybody know? Can anybody help me out?
I took a look and it was just the guys talking or whatnot. So I'm not sure.
So we may be getting ready to start it back. I tell you what, let's go ahead and end this,
All
and
right.
let's hope for a better after rain delay. Right? Let's hope we're coming back here for our post game show, talking about how good we looked, and maybe be happy with the coaching for a change. Let's just say the rest of the game, all of a sudden Neil Brown looks like Nick Saban. All right, that's all I got to say. All right, guys, appreciate you joining in for the Storm delay show, and we will be back with you guys right after the game for post game. Have a great night. Let's go Mountaineers.